Welcome back to Good Day Maine, and I know a lot of TV stations around the country have people coming in for tours, and you get to walk them through the newsroom and going into the studio, the control room, but you really don't get to the feel of what it's like because when they leave, things kind of change a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, and so behind the scenes of a TV station is kind of it's an interesting profession, to say the least. Joining us now is Eric Bailey, who used to be, working at a local television station here in Portland, and you put together a sitcom on what it's really like. This is kind of it's a pilot. It's called, the official title, Off Air.
Off Air, and the pilot episode is called Changing the Channel.
Changing the Channel.
The channel.
Okay, before we start talking about it, let's take a look at a clip from it.
All right.
Hey kid, before you go, remember this. In this business, in this place, I'm the main course. I'm the meat and potatoes, baby. You're nothing but an aspiring side dish. You're a salad, and there's no room for you. Got it?
That's your big exit? Calling me salad?
It's an analogy, kid. Way over your head.
It's not over my head, it's just weak. Many people order salad as a meal. It's a healthy alternative.
No, wait. I'm what people tune into this restaurant for.
People don't tune into restaurants. They go out to restaurants.
You just don't get it.
I have a better handle on this analogy than you do.
You.
You sure do leave a nasty aftertaste.
Now that is not what Kim Block does, right?
No.
She does not treat the employees here.
Sweet.
What's the message there?
Well, it's a little dramatized, obviously, for the sake of comedy.
Sure.
But yeah, no, basically, I noticed the same thing when I was working at a local TV news station, that there's just all these interesting dynamics that play out because there's all these different departments that call upon very different personalities sort of to interact with each other, and that's what I thought was the comedy gold, for a sitcom, is just these people who really don't have much in common in some aspects. You have engineers who are sometimes a little paranoid about everyone mashing their buttons and messing with their equipment, and then you have the talent, the anchor people who
often can have big egos.
Yeah, they can have big personalities.
Yeah.
You two excluded, maybe, I don't know. We just met. So.
Me excluded. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but there's just a lot of interesting ways that people kind of come together, and they all have to come together to make a show, and they all have to work with each other.
I'm sorry, Eric, when I was watching this, it kind of reminded me of kind of like an office type of setting. Is it very similar, to that? Not, saying it's exactly alike, but it kind of that setup.
Yeah, very, very much so. That's kind of what we were aiming for. We're kind of aiming for sort of like, I don't know if you're familiar with the series Scrubs. Scrubs sort of office kind of in this news studio setting. And that's kind of what we were aiming for. So the first half of the show is actually, the first half of this pilot episode is actually a lot of sort of during a broadcast. So you get to see how all these people are working together to create the show and all the technology and stuff like that. And then the second part of it is very much sort of after the show, and it's a sort of office setting kind of interactions that people will have. Or could have.
It looks really funny.
I oftentimes tell people too, if you guys only knew. I mean, it's funny. I mean, there is a lot of humor to be found in this profession, and it's nice to have a sense of humor
and to accentuate it like that. Now, what is the goal here? You're going to show this off very soon, but what is your goal here? You want to get this bought and sold, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the idea behind a pilot episode. It's funny because first and foremost I'm a writer, and I just wrote this actually between the morning and noon broadcasts of the station I worked at, because there was a lot of downtime. I don't know if you guys get a lot of downtime, but there was a whole lot for me at the time. So I kind of had to when I didn't have stuff to do, you know, I kind of had to fill my time, and so, you know, my imagination started running wild, and then I started writing this, and I only wrote it for the script. You know, I had no idea that it would ever be produced, and then one thing led to another, and it just kind of ran away, and we produced it locally. So
I'm going to tell you, when you dropped off the CDs, the DVDs, and we put them in and we're watching them, you had our newsroom howling, laughing their heads off. So I can't wait to see it in its entirety.
Yeah, it looks very funny, Eric, and we wish you the best of luck. And we hope someone, we see it on TV.
Yeah, and tell us again where you can see it.
You can see it at the Maine Studios. We're having a screening this Friday. Yep, there it is. It's going to be doors open at 7 o'clock. The showing's at 8. There's going to be food catered by Jennifer Bannis of 111 Maine, and we're going to have some beverages, and it's going to be a great time. And then after that, it's actually going to air on CTN, which is a cable access station here in Portland. Okay. So, and maybe elsewhere if I get lucky. I don't know.
Right, absolutely. Well, Maine Studios is on Presumpscot Street, and that sounds very good. Thank you, Eric,
for coming in
and sharing.
All right. Well, coming up next on Good Day Maine, we're going to check with Ken and Mike over at WGN and see what is lighting up the phones there this morning.